Welcome everyone to the third, if you're Toriko fans, the third installment of the Recon's piece, man. Top 10 favorite or best, whichever one you did. Chapters, One Piece chapters of 2016. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm so happy that I waited until the last minute to do it, because one chapter, I mean, a couple of them, but one chapter in particular landed pretty damn high. And well, actually, on the voter list, it was somewhere in the middle. That came out just recently, and then and on my list, it's really high. So, most definitely, man, I'm glad that I waited. I was gonna do it at the beginning of December, but I'm really happy that I waited. And had 851, had I included it, that would have been in there too. 851 was greatness, but that's going to be a part of the 2017 list because it did come out in the first issue of 2017. So we're going to be covering all the way from chapters 812 to 850. This is going to be awesome sauce, man. Now I have to give a huge shout out to anyone who participated in this, because I reread the arc today before school. I reread all the way from chapter 812 to 851, and let me tell you something right now, man. Let me tell you something right now, because I continuously say this, but I have to reiterate it just in case. Whole Cake Island has the potential to be one of my favorite arcs in this series. And I didn't want to admit it because most of my favorite arcs involve all of the Straw Hats. In my top 5, every arc in there, besides, I believe, Marineford, has all of the Straw Hats in them. Every single one of them. And Marineford's barely in there, because Drum Island used to be it used to be number 5. Now it's number 6. But I love the arcs that have all the Straw Hats. But Whole Cake Island, it's such an amazing arc. It truly is. I mean, I had the opportunity today to finally reread a massive portion of it, because I reread it, I believe, before, whenever we got to Luffy versus Commander Cracker. I think I did like a little reread there as well. And I reread those chapters again. But this time I actually went all the way from 812 with Capone Gang B all the way to Ray of Hope. Or, no, I'm sorry, 851. 851 was whenever I got it to. So I read a hefty amount of chapters. The ending of Zoe is awesome sauce, but Whole Cake Island just hits me on all the levels that I love, man. On those emotional levels, man. Whole Cake Island greatness. I love this arc. I flippin' love this arc, man. And the thing is with the greatness happening this year with the Reverie and Wano, 2017 looks like it's going to be even harder to choose a chapter of the year than 2016. And let me tell you, I had 23. I was writing them down, man. I was in class, and I was writing them down of what could be, and I kept marking them down, marking them off, changing spots. But I grabbed a pen and I said, this is my final list. I don't care. I'm not changing anymore, because I was changing it so much. And I said, screw it. And there's even a note right here, and it states, had 851 come out in 2016, that would have been on this list. Brooke, young lady. That was one of the most hype panels, dude. I swear. I think that is Brooke's most hype panel, but I think that is my favorite Brook panel, besides, of course, in Thriller Bark, whenever he's laying back, whenever Luffy's laying back on the piano, and Brook is sitting there playing it, and to me that's my personal favorite Brook panel. But coming in close second is definitely this one, dude. When you are in front of a flippin' Yonko and you call her young lady, I mean, she has regardless, we're moving forward. But yeah, man, thank you all for voting so much. There are some chapters on here that I love a lot that I didn't expect to be this high on your guys' lists, and a lot of you voted for a couple of ones that I really like. There's a couple of them that I was shocked to see on this list at all. I mean, with all the greatness that came out this year, it was some had to be left out. Some had to be left out, but overall, there was a pretty big consensus between a lot of you, and there was a lot of votes, and I really do appreciate everyone who participated, man. It was awesome sauce just going and tallying all these votes. It was a lot of them, and And I'm so happy that a lot of you participated, and it was a blast to do. So without further, well, actually, before I read the list that you guys voted, that I tallied up, let me go ahead and say this. This is being recorded on Wednesday. Tomorrow is going to be an awesome sauce of a day, man. The reason why I woke up today and I reread from 8:12 to 8:50 besides this is because I'm so hyped for Film Gold, man. I was gonna watch it on Tuesday and I wasn't able to. I hope I can watch it tomorrow. If the stars align, I'll be able to watch it tomorrow, English dub in the theaters. And listen, man, it's gonna be my first One Piece film in the theaters. I'm so excited. And like I was telling my brother, Dragon Ball it will forever be a piece of me, man. I will always love Dragon Ball, right? And whenever I didn't even see Battle of the Sea in the theaters, I saw Resurrection of F in the theaters, right? And I thought it was an awesome experience just because this is flipping Dragon Ball. I never got to see a Bleach film, Naruto either. So I told him, but I said, this is One Piece, man. This is my series. This is One Piece. One Piece. Out of those series that I just mentioned, man. Besides Bleach, of course, because Bleach, I would have done the same thing for it. But this is flipping One Piece, man. This is my series. This is my junk. This is what I talk about every day. This is what I think about every day. This is what I own every volume for. All my DVDs. This is all the posters in my room. This is my stuff. This is the GOAT. The GOAT. You know what I mean? So the fact that it's coming over here and there's no local theater showing it, I'm gonna have to drive miles. Go all the way down there, hours. But I don't care, man, because I gotta watch some mother flipping One Piece. And if the stars don't align, it is what it is. But I hope to see it tomorrow. I cannot wait to see Film Gold, man. I am dying. I've been watching all the Funimation clips on the internet. Oh, I'm so excited to watch Film Gold, man. And you can damn sure expect a reaction to well, not a reaction, of course, live reaction because it's in the theater. But you can damn sure expect like a post reaction to that, man. I cannot wait to watch Film Gold, man. As it stands right now. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say what my favorite One Piece film is. I want to make a video about that. But I have all of them right there, the ones that have come out in the U.S. at least. And I'll say this: one of them in particular, I've rewatched almost like 7 times, in its original language, raw, dub again, sub. So many times, but regardless. Coming at number 10 from the voted list, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to say you guys' lists, or I'm going to say the overall tallied up list from 10 to 1, and then I'm going to say my personal list from 10 to 1. So coming at number 10 in the voted list is One Piece Chapter 837, Luffy vs. Commander Cracker. Really nice choice. Number 9, Chapter 821, Understood. The one with one of the best color pages in the whole series, man. I made it the thumbnail for a reason. I love that color page. That color page is so flipping amazing, and the cover page with Luffy versus the 4 Emperors, man. You have the boss. When you have on a cover, you have Shanks. Shanks by itself, you gotta give the chapter. I remember the Droid said this a long time ago. When Shanks is in a chapter, it's like an automatic. It's an automatic GOAT. It's an automatic greatness. In my case, my rating system is automatic awesome sauce. And then you have Kaido in the world. You have Blackbeard, the man, the GOAT. Blackbeard. Come on, man. And then Big Mom's on there too. It's sick. It's a sick cover. And it gets you so excited to see these guys because the only one that it's crazy. It's crazy how Oda does it, right? Because post time skip, other than from we haven't seen Blackbeard at all. Oh, we've only seen a little bit of his little chin batteries growing there, and we've seen Shanks in the cover stories, but we've seen Kaido, which we did not see pre-time skip, and we've seen Big Mom, which we saw silhouettes over, but we didn't actually get to see her pre-time skip. But Blackbeard we haven't seen at all. And that just keeps everything interesting because we haven't seen them. So yeah, chapter 821 Understood, and coming in number 9. Coming in number 8 is chapter 824 Little Pirate Games. Great choice, man. I love this chapter. This one right here, coming in number 7, is one that I was talking about. Now this one right here is one that came out just recently. It is most certainly on my list, and it made a lot of your guys' list too. One Piece 850, Ray of Hope. this is like one of the reasons why I'm glad that I did it so late, is because then this chapter would not come out, and this was a huge game changer when it comes to Whole Cake Island, with the heel turn and whatnot. So 850 definitely sat well with a lot of you guys, and it caused for a lot of discussion, man. I'm a big discussion guy. So that was pretty awesome sauce. And plus, a lot of your comments, like I said in the Recon's piece in last week's segment, were absolutely hilarious. One Piece, coming number 6, One Piece chapter 841, man, To the East Blue, great choice. I love that chapter. Then the next coming in number 5, this one right here, I kind of expected it, but I didn't expect it to be this high, but I'm glad it was. Now, chapter 820, Dog and Cat Have a History. I adore that chapter. Now this one right here, number 4. This is one of the ones that I was shocked to place so high, and I have it really high. This chapter right here was halfway through last year, which was going to be a good gauge of where it sits on my list. Halfway through last year, in around June, whenever I made a top favorite chapters of that has come out so far that year. This was definitely that and a My Hero Academia chapter were my favorite chapters of the year thus far. And at number 4 on your guys' voted lists is One Piece 826 0 and 4. If you guys remember how much I was fangasming over this chapter, but I'll get to that in my personal list and my opinions and whatnot. But 826 and number 4, I was so happy to see that high. I love 826, man. That's one of my most reread chapters. Then coming in number 3, this to no surprise. To no surprise. Number 3 is One Piece 818 Within the Whale. God, that chapter was good. And coming in number 2. Now, 2 and 1 were really close. I'm talking about really, really close. I think it was around three votes away from each other. Number 2 is 8. And they're both equal. Well, not equal when it comes equal in terms of what Oda's trying to invoke in the readers, trying to get an emotion. He's trying to. Well, 816 is more like of a shock, but it still invokes a lot of emotion in me, and that's number 2 on you guys' voted list. One Piece 816, Dog and a Cat, or Dog versus Cat, depending on translation. And number 1. What else could it have been on the voted lists? For God's sakes, I don't blame you. One Piece 844, Luffy versus Sanji, man. This close. They were that close from each other, man. Hell of a list. You guys. And the thing is there was so many. There was such a huge, big consensus. Let me try something right quick. There was such a big consensus when it came to a lot of these chapters, but really, really good choices. Really good choices. Once again, let me just go right through it again. Number 10, One Piece 837. Number 9, 821. Number 8, 824. Number 7, 850. Number 6, 841. Number 5, 820. Number 4, 826. Number 3, 818. Number 2, 816. And number 1, 844. And just to go over what happened in those chapters before I get to my personal list. 837. It was Luffy versus Crocker. Number 9, it was whenever Zoe went in on Zunisha, man. It was, did I just say? When Zunisha went in on Jack. Alright, flipping Zogan and Zunisha, man. Number 8, Little Pirate Games. I don't even have to say what happened in this chapter. You already know, man. Just the title explains itself. Little Pirate Games. In the middle of the Reverie, man. Or a little Reverie mini arc written in the setup to the Reverie. And number 7, 850, the heel turn. And number 6, 841, the ending of Sanji's flashback. Number 5, Dog and Cat of History, 820. It was the revelation of that Marco and Blackbeard, that they had a little scuffle, as well as of all of how connected the Inarashi and Nekomamushi are to Roger, finding out those stories. Those are sick. And the little Crocus things, those are awesome. I always love chapters like those. 826 is the confirmation of royalty, baby. You already know, man. Royalty, Reiju introduction, Yonji introduction. It was greatness, man. Absolute awesome. 818 Within the Whale. Road Poneglyphs. Need I say more? 816. Raizo don't always safe. That's the best way to put it. 844. It's Luffy versus Sanji, man. It's Luffy versus Sanji. So let's go ahead. Great list, by the way, guys. So many great lists on there. had it been like another thing, because the thing is I didn't really know how to put this one, because I was gonna have some of the comments that come up on the side, but then I said, you know what, let me just tally them up, because there was so many that I said I can't pick out just some out of this. I'd rather just tally them up and then show like a voted list and then my own personal list. So that's the voted list. Let's go ahead and go into my personal list, man. Now, coming in straight out of the gate, man. Let's go ahead and get on to number 10. Coming in at number 10, man, on my list is chapter 846, Egg Defense. Now, there's a lot of reasons why this one's on my list, but the main reasons. Number one, this really showed me what a Yonko crew is. I love the showcasing of abilities, man, and I was waiting for it, because whenever I read them back to back, whenever I came back from hiatus, I was wondering what kind of dudes were gonna show up in this enraged army that Luffy said he's not gonna move. Not gonna move. And who is Big Mom sending? And you see all these abilities, and the way that the panels flowed, and the perspective of them, you know, from where I always call it camera work. But just how the panels were angled, you know, and the perspective that you were seeing it from, it was beast. I loved it. I liked that more, you know, that little skirmish that they had there, even though it was mainly running away, more than the panel choreography that in Luffy versus Cracker, and mainly due to the perspectives. It was just so cool. You know, seeing all of these different perspectives that you go through. I remember there was one particular panel with Luffy whenever he was running forward, and it was like right behind him from like an aspect of like right below him, but it just showcases how big these guys are, and I think that's really important when it comes to art in general. Like that's something that's always intrigued me when it comes to mangakas and the way they draw stuff, and just comics in general, is how they treat the perspective of everything when it comes to a particular panel or a particular page or whatnot. Like what makes those Marineford double page spreads so beautiful is the perspective of it. It's flipping insane. It's amazing how Oda managed to do that. And still, getting back on 846, I loved it for mainly due to the showcase of abilities, because it showed me this is a Yonko pirate crew, and they're not even in the top tiers. That is how strong they are. I mean, their abilities were insane, and they were so interesting. Not only that, but then you have the flippin' Rio Poneglyph information. Tamago dropping down the knowledge. And you're like, no, Tamago, the Baron. And you're like, holy crap. And then, of course, with the end of the chapter with Brook and Pedro ready to delay the SmackDown. But still, just by that by itself, the showcasing abilities and the real Poneglyph revelation, that supposedly there's 9. And that in itself creates the real Poneglyph. It's crazy. It's crazy, and I can't wait to see I cannot wait to see I should say I can't wait to get more information on that, to see where that takes us in the story. But that was my number 10, 846. Coming in number 9, 838, Bropper. Now listen to me, man. Or 838, Bropper. Listen to me, man. This chapter, the ending, or I should. It's so much greatness. Number one, it has one of my favorite Nami panels. That's number one. I absolutely adore that Nami panel. Whenever she the way that she's holding it, she just looks. It's menacing, but it's hot, and you're like, whoa. That's number one. Number two, Luffy. Listen, man. Luffy was going in, the revelation of Cracker, and how he took off his armor and became the 1,000 Arms Cracker. You know, no armor, I mean, coming right out. I mean, it was insane. And it was a hell of a battle, hell of a squad. They just going back and forth. And at the end of the chapter, then you have the arrival of the flippin' Pinsmoke brothers. It was such a great cliffhanger, and overall just a really well paced chapter, and of course the scenes with Chopper and Flippin' Carrot as well. But the main things, man, Luffy and Cracker, and the ending of the chapter, finally getting back to the stuff with the Fin Smokes, and of course with the stuff where we get later on, which I'll touch upon here in a bit. I absolutely loved it, man, and it was awesome sauce. And God, dude, it was greatness. It was absolute greatness. My bad, everyone, man. If you see like a random cut and I'm wearing a different shirt, it is not me from an alternate timeline. It is actually that my camera ran out of battery last night, so I decided to wait until the morning after the chapter came out, or before the chapter came out, to continue doing the rest of it. I believe I left off at number 8. So week number 8, man, is an awesome sauce of a chapter that I always bring up every single time I'm in a discussion with my friends, man. It's mainly for one particular thing brought up in there. I mean, there's a couple of other different things, but for one particular thing. And that is chapter 820, Dog and Cat Have a History. I absolutely... Woo! I absolutely love anything that has to do with giving us more information on Roger and his crew. And this chapter gave us that with Inarashi and Nekomamushi finding out, or us finding out as viewers that they were on board their ship, and the way they talked about Crocus, like, oh man, that's a name I haven't heard in years. Like, that kind of stuff, it always gets me hyped, man. It always gets me like, I can't wait to find out more about the Roger Pirates and its awesome sauce. That in and of itself would gauge it to be on the top 10. But another event that happened in this chapter was the greatness, the awesome sauce that is the revelation that I always bring up every time that I talk with my friends, is what is going to be the consequences, what is going to be the repercussions to the world. What is this going to lead towards after we find out that Marco and Blackbeard duked it out in the payback war, man. When I saw that statement, I got so hyped for for some future developments in the series, man. It was an awesome sauce of a revelation, and I could not wait to find out more. Plus, with us hearing a little bit of the voice of all things towards the end of the chapter, that was awesome sauce as well. But 820 was definitely a great chapter. I love that chapter, and those two things in particular, finding more about Roger, and in terms of the Marco and Blackbeard situation, was flipping awesome sauce. So coming in number 7, man. Now the reason why this for me is not in my top 5 is because it is the third act in what to me was a 3-act little mini arc, and I couldn't justify just having the final part not up there, because I truly do believe that those 3 together are one story, and that is chapter 841, To the East Blue. I absolutely adore this chapter and the flashback, but because it was not in cohesion with 839, 840, and 841, I couldn't place it any higher, because I feel like all 3 of those together just connect so well that I couldn't justify putting 841 by itself that high. I think that it fits so well with the others, but I still couldn't leave it off the list, man. Not even close. I just love this entire little portion of it so much. I picked the ending mainly because the one thing that always stuck out for me in terms of the Sanji flashback was seeing more about the mother, and which we got in this chapter, and of course seeing the ending. The one thing that always stuck out with me about the flashback was Reiju telling him that one day he'll meet some people that will care about him, out there on the sea. So, and that's the one image that always stuck out with me in the flashback. So I always go back to that whenever I reread it. That was the one thing I was looking forward to seeing it again. And it's such a beautiful moment, an awesome moment, especially connecting it to today's chapter, and it was great. So definitely chapter 7, or chapter 7. Number 7 on my list is chapter 841, To the East Blue. Now coming to number 6, man. Now this chapter right here, as a person who's been reading this series for a long time, this chapter right here is without a doubt one of those payments and one of those like holy crap chapters, because you've been waiting to see it for so flippin' long. And the only reason why it's not higher is because the other ones, they either I've been waiting for that longer, or I've legit been waiting, or the other ones, during the reread, they hit me harder than this chapter did. So number 6 is chapter 818, Within the Whale. This chapter was absolutely insane from the moment it started to the moment it ended. All of the different revelations, man. I mean, Jesus Burgess, dude. Insane. the Kozuki clan, the Poneglyphs, the road Poneglyphs, Raftel information. Final series information on Raftel. Finding out what happened in Wano. With Lord Odin freaking Kozuki, man. And then with what's going on with the Shogun and Kaido. Dude, I mean, insane. Absolutely amazing. And from literally, from the beginning of the chapter to the end of the chapter, phenomenal. It was just such an awesome chapter. I believe that was the same chapter I also did the Goldberg entrance, which is one of my favorite intros ever done to a video. But it was such an insane chapter. Like when I went into it that week, I knew it was going to be something insane, but I didn't expect it to be that crazy. All of this final series information about Raftel, man. It was crazy, and God almighty, to this very day, it's still so many things in that chapter that we can discuss and talk about. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I'm telling you, man, 818 Within the Whale, phenomenal. And the fact that that's not in my top 5 shows you how hard it was for me to pick between these, because Within the Whale was insane. It was crazy. So coming number 5, man, this chapter right here is dude. I was waiting for this chapter for so many different reasons, for so many years. And that is chapter 823. A World Abuzz, yo. The World Abuzz, son. Listen to me, man. Everything about the setup of the Reverie had me on cloud 5,000. I'd been waiting to see Vivi for so long. Just in general, and the actual story. When I saw her in end of 822, I was like, oh snap, can it be? And then in 823, seeing all the different individuals that I know are going to play a major factor in the Reverie arc itself. We got to see little character designs and instances every here and then. But just seeing everyone in there, oh man, it was such a great chapter, dude. When then Cobra states that what he's going to ask to the world government, man, which is gonna be crazy. Oh man, just everything about the Reverie and the hype of it, dude. I've been waiting for so long for this. And then at the end of the chapter, of course, getting the massive revelation that Baltigo headquarters had been destroyed. Now I had to choose between this or Little Pirate Games, and I think I chose 823 just because of the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger left me, I mean, shocked. And it's another one of those things like the Marco and Blackbeard thing, to where you talk about that still in discussions to this day. What happened to the headquarters? What happened? You know, the revolutionaries couldn't have been wiped out, so something had to have gone on. They must have had an insane battle, and it makes you think. It's like, what the hell happened there? And then I think that's why I chose 823 over 824, as much as I love them. Almost equally, but that was crazy. And then, you know, just seeing all these guys again, man, Cobra and Vivi, Hina, and you're like, dog, man, it's just the hype from the Reverie, man. I can't wait. Those chapters this year are going to be absolutely insane. This 2017 is going to be so hard to pick a chapter of the year. I know it. It's going to be the end of Whole Cake Island. It's going to be the Reverie and the beginning of Wano. Holy flag darts. It's going to be hard. It's going to be insanely hard to pick a top 5. But, oh man, dude, coming in now, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm talking about whenever I said that I am so glad that I waited to do this video until this came out. Right here, and we have chapter 850 and number 4, Ray of Hope. This chapter, the reason why 850 I placed this high is because all of the chapters from 5 to 1 I reread a bunch of times by themselves. You know, because there's chapters that you can't wait to reread when you read the whole thing, and there's other chapters that on that same day you reread it a bunch of times. And this is 823 and now 850, Ray of Hope. I reread Ray of Hope so many times, trying to find something in there. And I think it's the whole atmosphere of this entire chapter that really, you know, because the arc of itself up until this point had this insane atmosphere, but this chapter switched it and made it even more intense. And not even, the reason why I love Whole Cake Island so much is because it's not even on the intensity of crap, we have a Yonko here how are we going to defeat the Yonko? In this case, with 850 especially, you really start to think, instead of how are we going to defeat this Yonko, it's how the hell are we going to survive? Not defeat the Yonko, how are we going to survive? How are we going to get, how is everybody going to get their plots resolved? And everything with the heel turn, with the Believe in Putting 2017 movement, with everything that went down in this chapter, the dialogue, the panels. I mean, it was the twist, mother flipping Tamago and Pedro, and you're like, dude, what is going on here? And so Ray of Hope had to place that. I reread this chapter so many times, guys. I legit reread this chapter so many times. I think this was the chapter where I started the Recon Piece segment, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. I think it was. If not, it might have been in the second episode. But 850, man. If 851 I was able to put on the list, it would be tough for me to choose between the two. But 850 Ray of Hope, man. And the thing is it was really hard for me not to put 845 or 847 or 848 because they were all phenomenal chapters as well. But I chose 850 in particular because of the twist in there. It was great, and it came out and it came at the right time. And it caused a lot of discussion within the community, which is a large reason why I put it in it. You know, it's always fun for a chapter to create discussion, and all of us were talking about, you know, whether pudding is bad, whether pudding is good, and it was an awesome sauce of a chapter to talk about all that kind of stuff. But the atmosphere just changed so much, man. It like not changed like as in took like a 180, but it took like it became 10 times more intense after this chapter, and that intensity is still showing even in 852. It's just, I'm loving this arc thus far because it truly is a how do we get out of your situation? How do we survive? It has like a Sabaody feel of how do we survive this arc? How do we get out of the situation? And it's crazy. So that's why 850 is up here. I reread it so many times, got so many discussions, and it's just great chapter. Absolutely fantastic chapter. And it's too on emotions. It makes you think. And holy crap. So yeah, chapter number 4 is chapter 850. Now here in the top 3, man. Now, these were really close. My number 1, I already knew what it was going to be. But 2 and 3 really was tough because 2 and 3 have pretty much been fighting it out since June of last year, I dare say. And but I had to choose one over the other for personal reasons. And so coming in number 3, this chapter hit me emotionally, both in the manga and the anime. I mean, I'll never forget it. It was one of those live reactions that you just never forget, because of how insane the shock was and the amount of emotion, man. I teared up. In this chapter, 816 Dog versus Cat, man, aka Raizo Dono is safe. You know, we as One Piece fans, we live for moments like these. We live for whenever Oda absolutely blows our mind with a revelation like this that'll bring us to tears, and it'll have that legendary To the Grand Line soundtrack playing in the background in your head. And you're like, holy flagnards, man. And it was the way that Oda set it up to this very moment that it really made it hit that hard, son. It hit home so flippin' hard. And because he was setting it up as to where like Inuarashi and Nekomamushi were about to square off. Like, man, they were about to go in a duel, son. Time to duel. They're about to go in, son, on each other. And the simple fact that all of it, you know, with that perfect timing of how Oda set it up to where now Kinemon and Kanjuro are coming there, and now they go up and they meet up with Momonosuke, and you're like, oh my god, and like something bad's about to happen here, and it just keeps building and building and building, and then you get that amazing payoff, man. And it's and you think about everything that they have gone through, man. They almost got wiped out. All of them, I mean, they lost limbs, they got wrecked, they had so many sacrifices, but they still did it, and Raizo Dono was safe, man. And the whole arc was building up to this very moment, man, which is why I had to place this above 818, because 816, to me, from an emotional standpoint, you know, I read this stuff to get emotionally invested, and you know you're emotionally invested within these characters when you almost get driven to the point of tears while reading. And it was absolutely beautiful. 816 will forever go down the annals of One Piece history for me as the best arc, or as the not the best arc, as the best chapter in the Zoark. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful chapter, and it's just like every single arc has like that one moment you can pinpoint from it. Rise of the Dawn of Safe is the one chapter I can pinpoint immediately from the Zoark, which is amazing in of itself. But Dog versus Cat, man, definitely takes the number 3 spot. Now, number 2, number 1, I already knew what number 1 was going to be from the moment I made that video. But number 2 was my favorite chapter for a majority of the time, up until the number 1 came out. But number 2 is one of my favorite chapters for so many different reasons. But I think it's more of a personal reason of, for those of you who have been subscribed to me since 2013, there's 3 things that I've never let go. That one of those things that I've never let go is my love for the adventure aspect of One Piece. That another one of those things that I have in general is my love for females and for female character designs that I adore. When it comes down here, I'm like a flippin' Sanji man. When it comes to that kind of stuff. But the third one, and the one thing I never let go of from the moment I made that video, was the Sanji's royalty theory video. And, a huge part to that is because of the large amount of support that I got on that video. And so many people that came back to me whenever 801 came out. And the fact that everybody remembered. It really hit home for me. I was like, man, like an emotional standpoint, it was like, wow. I did have some sort of, at least minimal, some sort of impact on the thought process of someone. Like when someone read something from the One Piece series, they thought of me, and that made me feel emotional. That made me feel like, holy crap, like I was born some many years ago, and I'm happy. I'm blessed that I was able to be on this planet to live for a moment like this, and it hit me at such an emotional level. Seeing that. And then when 812 came out, and everybody was talking about the mafia and what an assassin it could have been, and I stuck by the royalty thing, and I said, nah, man, Sanji's got to be royalty, man. And then when 826 dropped, that legendary line comes from a family of royals. And I just sat there and I was looking at it, because it's like because after like for those of you who were around then to see the beef that me and Alpha Too Late had, whenever that chapter came out, just to see for verbatim to say royals, not prince, not anything, but for it to say royals. I don't know if that was a translator. I don't know what it was. But when I saw that statement, I was like, you know what? What is even the reason for fighting one amongst another? Because having a feeling like that is something unexplainable. That theory was like my baby. And mainly because I wanted more for Sanji. I wanted to get something. I wanted Sanji to have a phenomenal story arc, which is being presented right now in Whole Cake Island. That's what I really, really wanted from the bottom of my heart. After years of being a One Piece fan, and when 826 came out and I saw that line, a family of royals, I mean, my joy skyrocketed. It was insane, and I'll never forget it. It was truly one of the chapters. Like, I'll never forget 801. 801 is still to this day I believe my favorite One Piece video I've ever made. 801 and probably number ones, but 826 really, 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 really wow. I mean, 014, man, beautiful, and the revelations of finding out that it's not just 1, 2, and 3. There's a 0 and a 4 as well. And then Reiju and her design, I'm like, Jesus, this is amazing. And Yonji, it was absolutely hilarious, but, all that stuff coming together. They're on the sea again, adventure aspect, just seeing everybody interact on the ship again. But, yeah, man, when I saw the line of royals, I don't think I even have to, I can't put into words just how happy I was whenever I saw that line. It was like everything that had happened in the past year and a half, losing my channel, Everything that had gone down earlier on in the year, because the first half of 2016 was pretty rough. But when I saw that a line of Royals, it completely turned everything around, and I was so happy to be alive. I was so happy to be experiencing, because One Piece has always been amazing when it comes to that aspect of me just making me happy in terms of being down and whatnot. But well, I'll never forget whenever I read that line. It just erased everything that negative that had ever taken place in the past year, and it was worth it. It was worth every moment, and I'll never forget. I'll never. It would easily have been number one if number one hadn't hit me even harder emotionally, man. And mainly number one is because of how long I've been with this thing. But number two is chapter 826, 0 and 4. And I love that chapter so much from the bottom of my heart, man. I really do. It changed so much, and it made 2016, and it was a damn well better year. And everything was on the uprise after that chapter came out. It was such a beautiful and amazing chapter. So coming in number one, man, what could be above that, right? What could be above that after what I just stated? Simple, man. After following the series for so long, you tend to become emotionally connected to these characters. And I remember stating one time that if any of the Straw Hats died, or if anything bad happened to them, I would have to take a month off from work, because it would be about as bad as if a family member had died, because that's how long I've been with these guys. And when chapter 844, Luffy versus Sanji, dropped, I knew it was going to be sad, but I didn't expect it to be that sad. From the very moment from the beginning of the chapter to the end of the chapter, there's so many different lines I can pinpoint out. Thus far, this is the chapter of this arc. This might be the chapter since Return to Sabaody for me personally. As much as I love 731, with the Return to Sabo, from an emotional standpoint, that chapter 844, it was something else, man. It was something else. Just seeing Luffy and Sanji duke it out, and everything that they told each other, and you're like, you don't mean this, man. You don't mean this. And then you get to that line where Luffy tells Nami, I'm not the one feeling that pain, and you see Sanji crying, man. It's stuff like that makes reading this manga, makes reading manga in general really stick out from other sources of entertainment, from other mediums. I don't really tear up much. Well, I mean, when it comes to like a lot of different things, but when something hits me hard, man, and 844 hit me so hard. I mean, just talking about it, it's home, man. Whenever he tells Sanji, when Luffy tells Sanji, I thought it was something amazing whenever the Straw Hats told everyone else that Luffy will one day be the man who becomes Pirate King. I thought that was GOAT. But when you have Luffy himself saying that without you, I can't become the Pirate King, that hurts. That hits home, man, because that came straight from Luffy's heart, man, and that breaks the fine line between it being fiction and me reading it as a reader, because it makes everything feel so real after years. This is why whenever I always hear people say that One Piece is too long, One Piece is a long series, it's it being that long and it having you that connected with the characters after this long journey. That's what makes chapters like 844 better than anything else that has come out this year. It's because of the connection that you have with these characters. And just seeing them go through this, it destroys that line between fiction and reality, because you're so emotionally invested with them that it's like as if your own family members were going at it. But man, dude, when Luffy says I'm not the one feeling that pain, that is the panel of this year. The panel, and Sanji's sitting there tearing up. I'm not the one feeling that pain with every kick. Yo, dude, it's beautiful. It was greatness, man. And 844 on just every level delivered. I really did not expect it to be that good, but Oda knocked it out of the park. It was phenomenal. It was absolutely insane, and I think 844 also has a huge impact, because for an entire month that was the last memory I had of One Piece until I came back from hiatus. And what a memory it was. Jesus, but Luffy vs. Sanji will forever go down for me as not just the best chapter of 2016, but will also go down just like the top 3 here as a chapter that I'll never forget in terms of reading this series weekly. And I've been experiencing One Piece for a long time, folks, and I can safely say that last year, 2016, had some chapters that I'll never forget. Ever, 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 ever forget. Period. I mean, every year there's some chapters that you just stick with you, and last year those were the chapters. By God, man. Without you, I can't become Pirate King. I mean, it's beautiful, man. But guys, that's my top 10. That is my top 10 favorite One Piece chapters 2016. Let me just go ahead and go through the list again. Number 10 was 846. Number 9 was 838. Number 8 was 818. Number 7 was 841. Wait, no. Oh, no. Number 8 was 820. Yeah, number 8 was 820 because I switched them up because I put some thought into it. Number 8 is 820. Number 7 is 841. Number 6 is 818. Number 5 is 823. Number 4 is 850. Number 3 is 816. Number 2 is 826. And number 1 is 844. So yeah, guys. One Piece awesome sauce, man. Just a hell of a year when it comes to One Piece. And this past year, One Piece truly helped me go through a lot of the stuff, because this past year was quite a bit rough, especially towards the first half of the year. But One Piece helped me through so much of it, and coming on here and talking about it with you guys, it was awesome sauce every single week, and it still is awesome sauce every week. I know I can always come on here and I can always talk about the thing I love so much with all of you, and there's actually some people out there that are willing to listen, and I really do appreciate that, man. But that's a cheers for a better 2017 and awesome sauce of a year of One Piece chapters and One Piece content. Film Gold comes out tonight, or at least I'm gonna be able to watch it tonight, and or I hope to be able to watch it. And I cannot wait to see what it has in store. You guys probably be seeing this on Friday, and I can't wait. I can't wait to experience Film Gold, and I can't wait to see what chapter or 2017 has in store for us in terms of as One Piece fans. But you guys have been awesome today, man. Thank you so much. Remember that if you were not able to post or whatever in the poll, if you want to, you can leave me your top 10 down below, or you can leave me whatever theories or comments you would like to be discussed on Recon's Piece episode 4. I definitely expect for me to talk about Film Gold after I finish it, and I just can't wait for this year, man. In terms of One Piece stuff, after reading 852, I want the next chapter now, and then we're on break again. By the gods. Flipping breaks, man. So I'm gonna have to think about what to talk about next week in terms of One Piece, man. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I'm so happy that in these past 3 years we've been able to grow so much in terms of One Piece content. My first ever video on YouTube was a One Piece video. For those of you that don't know, it was my first 3 videos, if I'm not mistaken. My first one was a how I got into One Piece video, and I recorded that on my phone. And it was like the entire screen was black except for the middle. It was like one little string, and that was me talking about One Piece in my grandma's bedroom. That's just how much I wanted to make YouTube videos. And and then I think I made one for chapter 706, and it got taken down for copyright. And I had a copyright strike for a long time. And then the next time that I uploaded videos for chapter 710 or 11, one of the two, and that one was actually more widescreen. And from then on out, I did One Piece and Bleach, and then a little bit after I did Naruto, and then those 3 I did for a while. But One Piece and Bleach is why I started doing YouTube, and to know that with One Piece, I've been able to talk with so many different people around the community, around the world, about the series that I love so much. It truly makes me happy, and it truly makes me believe that what we have on here on YouTube as YouTubers and as commenters and as people who experience each other's content, and as people who views content or creates content when it comes to One Piece, we have something special here. We definitely have something special here that is really hard to top, and I just really am thankful that so many of you have reached out to me in terms of telling me your opinions and your thoughts every single week on the One Piece chapter, you know. And we have our disagreements with the pulp pudding situation, with a couple of other situations in the story. But just know that I really do appreciate, enjoy, and love every single time that I see you guys comment and or tweet or on Facebook or whatever the case may be. You guys are awesome sauce, man, and I really do hope that you guys, all of you, have an awesome sauce of a 2017, not even just in One Piece content, just in your lives in general. You know, that you have an awesome sauce of a 2017, and please go out there and realize and live your dreams, because that's what Oda told us to do, man. And that's in his story. It's in his story, and it's something I carry within me, that every single person has the opportunity and should go out and live out their dreams to the best of their abilities. And it's something that I can't wait to see become and blossom out and bloom. See so many of you guys out there become successful. And I truly do wish the best for all of you. But you guys have been awesome today. This is it for Recon's Piece episode 3. Expect episode 4 to come out next week. And a film gold video to come out sometime here during the weekend. If not, maybe even a post reaction tonight after I watch it. Hopefully, if I get to watch it tonight, because I hope I get to watch it. And if not, it is what it is, and I'll try to see when the next time I'll be able to watch the film. But have an awesome day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. One Piece greatness, man. Absolute awesome sauce.